there has been an upward trend in unpredictable weather, especially in our section of the Midwest United States. The amount of 100-year floods and storms has been increasing, posing a greater threat to basements and homeowners. There is a rising trend in the amount of finished basements, so basements with more value stored in them, which is truly an increase in the market potential for the AFD. In the industry of basement flooding and flood prevention, there is one staple item, the sump pump. The sump pump pumps water out of the basement and to the exterior of the house, getting it out of the system altogether. But it has one fatal flaw. Like many other solutions on the current market, it relies on electricity.
And that is where the AFD comes in. The Anti-Flood Design, or AFD, is a flood prevention device that does not rely on electricity and is comprised of a funnel and 2 chambers. Our device relies on Pascal's principle. Pascal's principle states that water will always reach the same level, regardless of volume. Through a multivariate matrix analysis, we found which SAP absorbed water faster and which one absorbed water slower. Then we put the faster-acting SAP, or polyacrylamide, in the first chamber and the slower-acting SAP, or polyacrylate, in the second chamber. After creating an initial design, we found a more efficient way for the AFD to work, this time with 1 pipe and 2 meshes. These meshes would include the SAPs on top, and the top mesh would be cut into 3/4 of a circle so that the homeowner would have an easy way to remove the SAP from the bottom mesh. The SAP come in sacks, and these sacks can be removed by hand by the homeowner, and they are biodegradable so they can be dumped outside of your house.
When studying basement flooding and creating our AFD, we identified problems in many existing technologies. Sump pumps were relying on electricity and thus susceptible to failure in storms. Therefore, we decided to design the AFD to be completely independent of all external power sources. The Hydrosnake is a sort of sandbag that uses SAPs to turn water into a non-flowable form. While these couldn't be used effectively in basement flooding, the use of SAP is good in our AFD. The water pressure sump pump is another device used in basements, and it uses water pressure to pump out excess water. However, the switch can get stuck and the drainage pipe can get clogged. The AFD has none of these problems. It keeps the water contained within the SAPs, absorbing the water.
There's a large market open for our device, as it can potentially be used in any underground situation, including the millions of basements around our country. In our business plan, we will focus especially on the residential sector in areas with high densities of basement owners. Demographically, we will focus on the middle-income suburban families living in areas with clay soil, which has the highest rainwater retention, which means that when there's heavy rainfall, the clay will quickly become saturated with water, and the water pressure will lead to increased basement floodings. Our product has the potential to become very successful with our current business plan, and we will, the cost of building is at around $50 a unit, and with a reasonable 15% margin, we will sell for a retail price of $60, and profits will quickly become enough to sustain our business. We will start our business with funding from loans and investors once our device has reached a sufficient point. As to the Innovation Summit, we will collect funds from our community, which is heavily affected by flooding, and there will be a huge interest in our product.
The increased trend of delocalization in culture. People are wanting to travel, but not only do they want to travel, they want to do it worry-free. As such, a product which can make flood prevention more secure is one which would be highly marketable. In addition to this, people are beginning to use basements more as a living space, and not only this, there are also more basements which are being built as a staple in houses. As such, not only is there a higher risk of property damage, but the property itself is increasing in value. Throughout this video, you've seen the entire development process as it relates to the specific roles that each of our team members played in making the AFD what it is today. However, this process has not been without hurdles, and we've had to go to many prototypes in order to perfect the AFD to make it what it is today. A device which is both economical, simple, and effective. But since we started with that dual chamber prototype, the shift from that to a single pipe was one that was not exactly easy. However, because David's basement actually flooded recently, that event kind of triggered some motivation for us to work through our problems and get the job done. Throughout this process, I've tried my best to keep things working smoothly and contributed to the research in a variety of areas. Overall, I think that the AFD is a product which is very useful in today's world, especially on the market. I hope you'll consider the AFD as a finalist for the Conrad Spirit of Innovation Challenge.